Hello everybody, it is Thursday, September 24th, 2020, 6:37 p.m., 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. I'm in Astoria, Queens right now on Steinway Streets. And today we're going to be doing a little walk of Queens. But let's get started. Put my panda away. Oh no, hard fit. There we go. Think it'll fit now. All right, good. Let me just turn this on and we'll get going. All right, what happened here? There we go. Should have had it on before I started the stream, but we're good now. All right, we're in business. How's everyone doing today? All right. Aries, I'm in Astoria, Queens right now. This is 30th Avenue and Steinway Streets. I had to come here because I needed to mail something out at the UPS store. But I might as well just keep it local today and show you around just a little bit. 30th Avenue is looking very busy right now. I walked up here. But it usually is pretty busy at this time. Let's walk down here and I'll show you what's up. Whoa. And they're redoing the sidewalk here.
Hey ma. Hey ma.
Hey. Someone's trying to give me flowers? What? Kind of a strange crowd. This is the busiest section of 30th Avenue, Astoria, Queens. Also hearing the cops too. Are they trying to move traffic along or something? Who knows? You know, I really admire these bus drivers because now with 30th Avenue the way it is, with all this outdoor seating, some of these outdoor seating places, believe it or not, they take up a lot of space. Sometimes it takes up way more than a car width. If you look at here, like this outdoor seating here, it's wider than this car. C Medina 238, thank you for the $5. What's up? Tuned in as always. So you see here, this car comes up to here, right? And then the outdoor seating, I'm gonna turn 180 right here. So you have from here to here that there's extra space that's taken off from the street. So all these cars and buses and whatever traffic needs to navigate around that. So it makes it very tight sometimes for these drivers. But this is the Astoria crowd eating dinner now. And then over here across the street, this one doesn't seem as wide as the other one. The Grand has a narrower outdoor dining section than over there. I think that's No, that's not the butcher bar seating. That's the other one on the corner. I forgot the name already. But anyway, let's go down this way, 37th Street. Wow, they have pumpkins for sale now. Halloween's coming. October's just around the corner. Pumpkins for sale in a watermelon box. That makes sense, right? I mean, they're both like big melons slash fruits though. Just the inside's orange on the pumpkin. The inside of the watermelon is pink or red. Looks like a watermelon, right? Just imagine it's red and juicy and watery. The serious cake saying it's an orange melon.
Pretty cool.
We're making up fruits and vegetables now. What would be a cross between a pumpkin and a watermelon? Pumpkin melon? I don't know. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a left on the next block, 31st Avenue. Random videos saying great microphone, you hear my footsteps. Yeah, I love this mic. Everyone's been saying such great things about it. I remember the first lavalier mic I got for this phone, there was so much static and I kept trying to plug it in and did other things to it. It didn't work out well, so I just returned it. Jonah Rawl, have I walked through Howard Beach yet? Yeah, I've done a few walks through Howard Beach. I've never done a live video there though. But Howard Beach is really interesting because there's different sections of the neighborhood that correspond to like different places. Like there's the new Howard Beach, which is basically everything from Cross Bay Boulevard west. And then there's Old Howard Beach, which is the east side. And then there's other neighborhoods within Howard Beach as well. Like one of my most recent videos that just exploded in popularity was the hole in the border of Queens and Brooklyn. That can be considered part of Howard Beach as well. And then you have other places like Ramblersville and Howard Beach. You have Hamilton Beach, which is part of the old Howard Beach. Grant 11955, thank you for the $2.99. Thank you, Grant. E-Man saying I should walk to Rikers Island. I tried that before and you cannot go over that bridge unless you're on a vehicle. And the time when I wanted to like record on Rikers Island, just the parking lot by the way, not the jail area, the corrections officers there told me I couldn't and I had to turn around. I got searched by a canine and everything there just for being on the island. So if anyone's thinking about going to Rikers Island for a visit, you shouldn't go there unless you have someone to visit. All right, here's 31st Avenue. Look at how deep the outdoor seating is here. I really like this tent setup that they have here. at Sabor de Cuba. Also JJ's Asian Fusion Sushi Bar. Here we've got the Associated Supermarket. I don't really come to this supermarket that often. I've maybe shopped here a handful of times. But they got some good prices, especially on bananas too. Most supermarkets now, I noticed they're selling bananas for 69 cents a pound. That's the normal price now for bananas. Only when I go to the Chinatown fruit stand vendors and some of the vendors on the sidewalks do you get 59 cents a pound. So that's a good price for bananas. But oranges have gotten really expensive during the start of the pandemic. They just started to take off. Now I think you need to pay like $1 an orange at some places. I saw another place it was like 3 oranges for $2, and those weren't even big oranges. Oh, this smells so good right here. Frankie Slovaki Astoria, the famous Frankie Slovaki truck. You can see here just how many people are waiting just for their Slovaki. Look at that, it smells so good. Now I'm on Steinway Street again. It's getting really dark soon now. It's not even 7 yet and the sky's already like turning colors. Eddie Steffens asking if he could smell it. We'll pay for the food if you send it. I could try, but I don't think YouTube has that technology yet to transmit smells over the internet. This light is taking a long time.
It's actually water on the outside? Yeah. Oh, so it's just like in the water. Super wet.
Chris Hansen, you're working on a smell-o-vision. Free flu shots available at CVS. Although I think they could do a better job with that sign. Should be flat and not wrapped around the tree. It makes it hard to read. Wow, if I knew that there was a UPS truck here, I would have just carried my package with me and just handed it to the driver personally. Instead, I went to the UPS store and had to wait in line because there was an occupancy limit inside the store. But that's a trick that a lot of people don't know about. If you need to ship something with UPS or FedEx, if you already have the package prepared and ready, if you find a UPS or FedEx driver, they'll gladly take it from you to mail out. So there's no need to wait in line to drop it off. Just give it to the driver and say, oh, I'll take it. I think there's UPS delivery time. I just saw another UPS truck going down 42nd Street. A. Rodriguez saying, but when you need UPS, you never see them. I mean, that's the running joke, right? The running joke is like with your Amazon package, they'll be like this. Ring, ring, ring. Yo, UPS, my package says it's delivered. Where is it? I don't see it in front of my yard. I don't see it in my mail room. Where's my package? It's delivered. Or the other joke is that they put the yellow slip in front of your door saying, we're sorry, we missed you. You can pick it up at this time. But I'm not hating on just UPS. It happens with FedEx and it happens with the US Postal Service as well. Wow, look at the colors of the sky right now. It's really turning a nice shade of pink and red. Starry Night saying USPS is terrible on deliveries, you're missing packages now. Well, I've noticed that many times the delivery services, they won't even try to make an effort to hide the packages that are delivered to your place. Sometimes I see them like left outside the door, out in the open, or like they don't even like try, they'll just like toss it in the yard. And there's so many package thieves, especially in New York City now. I've browsed Reddit and I've seen many like horror stories of packages getting stolen. I think the worst culprit for package delivery is laser ship though. I've seen laser ship just like toss the package just directly in someone's yard before. And I hope they didn't have anything fragile in there because whatever is in there probably would have gotten shattered if it was fragile. Chatsworth 1979 with $5. Nice to see another live walk. I've missed some recently. Looks nice today in Queens. Yes, it is very nice. Right now it's still quite comfortable. It's in the mid 70s, but I think the 70s temperature is starting to come to an end. So it won't be long until our temperatures start to drop. I see I'm not the only one in the chat who's gotten their packages misdelivered. It's probably a common thing throughout the country. So I just turned onto Newtown Road. This will lead me directly to Northern Boulevard and Broadway. Fast pass gone by, you require a signature for all your packages. Well, there's one thing I have to say about that. So, one time I ordered 6 bottles of wine as a gift to someone I know, and it was delivered to me, right? And I come back, I see this package, and I'm like, what the heck? And I realize it's the bottles of wine. So I looked on the outside of the package, it says, signature required, 21 plus. So if someone was like dubious enough, they could have just gone and taken all the bottles of wine and didn't even have to prove they're 21 or not. So how's that for signature required? Adult must be present. And of course, I checked the status of the tracking number. It said delivered. left at residence. Yeah, MR, a minor could have ordered the wine too. I don't condone that, by the way. So my plan is to head towards Northern Boulevard because I want to show you a new project that was started by the city on Northern Boulevard. I won't reveal what that project is, but if you know me, walking is not the only thing I do. I want to scout it out before seeing if it's a viable option. What is going on here? This is quite dangerous. A lot of wires. And there's some more wires over there and some hanging over here. And then some over here. What's with all these cables and wires all over the place? Is this Newtown Road or is this hanging cords and wires road? This doesn't look good. Classic Dodge, by the way. Look at this. Dodge is dodging these wires like a champ. Good work, Dodge. You dodged all the wires. Hopefully the hanging wires don't extend for another block. So just up the block from here on 31st Avenue is William Cullen Bryant High School. It's one of the largest high schools in the area for Astoria and Woodside, Queens. Right up the next block here, you're gonna see it. I can't even read the signs here, it's so faded out. I was looking to see what street this was because I forgot. It's 48th Street. This is the intersection of Broadway and Newtown Road. I'm going to continue down Newtown Road straight to Northern Boulevard. think it's better for me to cross the street here. KD, thank you for the $1.39 Canadian. Appreciate it, dude. Thanks a lot. That's a little bit of a quick turn. Wasn't in any danger there though. All right, so Newtown Road. We're going all the way to Northern Boulevard. So over there is the largest Best Buy in Astoria and Long Island City. Actually, it's the only Best Buy here for this community. But don't let the name fool you, because Best Buy can sometimes have some of the worst buys. And I'm a very savvy shopper too. Sometimes I go into Best Buy because I know they'll have a product and I know you can get it cheaper online, but because I want to give them the business, I go there, I get the item, and then I go to the register to say, hey, price match. I found this for $5 cheaper, and they'll honor it. So to the left of me, this is the Woodside houses, because I am walking into the Woodside neighborhood now. I won't venture too much into Woodside, mostly because this project that's on Northern Boulevard doesn't go that way. Sounds like those people are working very hard trying to figure out how to move some items inside that building. Okay, so over here we have a COVID-19 testing site shown by the white tent. I don't know like how quickly these results come in, but the last time I got tested, they came back pretty quick, a turnaround of about 3 days. I got tested on a Friday, and then the results came back in on a Monday, so that was really quick. But it looks like this is a DOE staff testing center. DOE standing for the New York City Department of Education. All right, so here's Northern Boulevard. I'm gonna walk up another block or two to the beginning of this bike lane. And now you know why I wanted to come here, to check out the bike lane here. But yes, Northern Boulevard now has a bike lane. I don't know if it's a good idea or not because Northern Boulevard is such a busy road, but I want to check it out because it is a direct road even though it's very busy. So I'm going to see how it is, if the city did a good job or not. Yvette's saying that's a bad idea. You think it's an accident waiting to happen? Well, they have these plastic delineators, so it offers like some separation between the cars and the bike lane, but I agree with you. It's gonna make it a little bit challenging. But if it's like this the entire way, I don't think it's gonna be that great. It is something though. Car wash. Here's McDonald's and the Staples. I want to know where this bike lane begins. But they got this bike lane up pretty quickly. I didn't even know they were working on it until recently. All right, so I think this is the start of the bike lane on Northern Boulevard. Let's follow it and see how long it goes and see how comfortable I can use this bike lane if I ever decide to need to use it. John Lone, that's a good question, asking why isn't it painted green? I think it's because the city didn't have an opportunity to yet. But here's the start of the bike lane, close to Broadway and Northern Boulevard over there. But this is what it looks like. Plastic delineators on the curbside. I do have to say one thing though. This bike lane is actually much better than having no bike lane at all, because I would not feel that comfortable riding over here. I've ridden in those situations before and I can do it, but I still think it's a lot better. It's some protection, but it really comes down to the drivers respecting the cyclists. And I understand the city's mentality too, because these bike lanes that are like this, especially the Queens Boulevard bike lane is the best example. They don't physically separate the bike lane from the road, and they use plastic delineators like this because their reasoning is that they need emergency vehicles to get through, and if the bike lane is open, they can just go through the bike lane instead and not have to wait around for traffic. Also, they also say that the sanitation trucks can't go into the bike lane to clean it. They need special equipment. So that's another reason why the city doesn't want to physically separate the bike lanes. Also, another thing with Northern Boulevard is, you see this? What's this right here? From that corner to this corner. That's a driveway. If you physically separate this bike lane, how are these cars gonna go into their own driveway? So it's really a predicament that the city couldn't really solve easily. So this is probably the best that the cyclists are gonna get, to be honest. Galen, you joined the Red Panda membership. Awesome, dude. Glad you could join along. Now you can use all the emotes in the live chat as well as the comment section. Over there across the street's a strip mall. You have the Michael's Art Supply Store, Starbucks, Dollar Tree, Boston Market, and GameStop in that strip mall. Also, another thing with this bike lane, it would help if they painted it green like one of the viewers just wrote. And also the other side does not have a bike lane yet. It's only the westbound side. To my knowledge, the city is planning to do the other side as well. I don't personally know anybody who uses the Northern Boulevard street on their bicycle regularly, although I do know that there's a lot of users online who do, because it's the most direct path to the Queensboro Bridge, especially from these neighborhoods. Now, over here is a little bit dangerous for the cyclists because you have this whole stretch here which isn't marked at all, and the cars can just make a right turn over here. There's also no traffic light, but they got a stop sign here though. Of course, he doesn't stop. Liam Cashel, thank you for the $2.99. Appreciate it very much, Liam. Doesn't stop and waits over here for some reason. Could have saved the same amount of time if he stopped for me and then made the right turn instead of blowing past the stop sign and then waiting here. Does that make any sense? And now making a 3-point turn. Something's going on. 2 fire engines going up Northern Boulevard. Give me some air horn. Bump, bump, bump. I love the fire truck air horn sound. It's so defining of New York City. If you try to beat out the sound of a fire truck air horn, good luck. I saw a fire truck one time just banging on the horn from someone who was not moving on a one-way street. I was afraid their windows were gonna shatter. That's how loud it was. They were blaring on the horn for 3 minutes until they gave up. But that's such a crappy thing to do. Wait on a one-way street with no room to pass when there's a fire truck behind you blasting their air horn. Look at this. You know what's the problem with this intersection? You have here the cars going straight, and then you have the cars turning out from Home Depot. always a major cause of problems here. Yeah, C Medina 238 saying you gotta be careful out here. The streets have bad energy these days. Well, the thing with driving also, I get the sense that there's more and more drivers that are feeling frustrated with traffic in the city, restrictions on driving, things of that nature, and they show it in their driving habits. They'll honk at people when there's like no reason to, or they'll cut off somebody because they're frustrated themselves, and I can just feel like the pent-up energy of some of these drivers. That's why you have these road rage incidents too. I mean, I really don't know like how best to resolve that. People really need to like relax and know that everything is going to be okay. Honking a horn at someone in front of you that's not moving is not going to get you anywhere. Here we had another problem with the bike lane because you have a bus stop here. So now you gotta share the bike lane with the bus stop.
Yeah, you do, bro. You only like 3 years ago.
And we have a car that's parked in the bike lane at the Acura dealership. So tell me this is not gonna be a problem. The car dealership and the bike lane here. Is the car dealership gonna use this bike lane as storage space for their model cars on the showroom? And this isn't the only car dealership either. There's a bunch more down there. You're gonna see it. Here's Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. They're springing up all over lately. Oh my gosh. Look at how fast these cars are going. What the heck? Yo, dude, you suck at driving. I got a green light, folks. I'm walking here. You better not drive up here. Freaking idiots. $19J Bow 81 with $3.99 Canadian. Thanks so much, man. I survived that intersection. You saw it. I walked that intersection like a boss. Just as I said, people are frustrated. They don't know how to drive. It really sucks. I hope people will like know that their actions can cause someone to get seriously hurt. All right. Red Rocks with $5 Australian. Hey, I'm walking here. Thanks for walking along with me. Yeah. I think this is an anxiety bike lane. Here's another car dealership, by the way. Mitsubishi. Look at how many driveways they have. So not only do the cyclists have to watch out from all these cars over here, but you gotta watch out for all the cars coming out from the showroom and the parking lot here. T. Andre Mitch with $2. Please go back to Bay Ridge before the snow comes. I'll try to, dude. Thanks. And this is only one side. They need to do the bike lane on the other side. I guess I'll save that for another live stream. You see here, this like entire stretch across the street are all car dealerships. GMC, Buick, Cadillac, Major over there. It's insane. New York City walking show with $2.99. Thank you. Be safe. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it very much. Thanks. I do have to like commend the city though for putting up this bike lane so quickly. It's better than nothing, I'd say that, but it's still a little bit uncomfortable to ride on Northern Boulevard, even with this bike lane here. There's a car waiting for a turn there. Turning into me. Nope. All right, good. Safety comes first, folks. Arneg 67 with $4.99. I'm the bravest vlogger in the business. I'm walking here. I'm glad you think so. Thanks. Samuel Vargas with 20 bucks. Sam, thank you so much. Crazy drivers. Yeah, we got a few today. A few bad apples, but luckily nothing happened yet. Here's Major World Chevy, and then there's another lot over there. Oh, and they got another one here. I think this might be an extension of Hyundai, or maybe this is Kia. No, it's Major. Major. Hyundai is over here. Is it Hyundai or Hyundai? I'm not familiar. It's funny I can pronounce like some of the luxury brands. Gosh, this muffler is so loud. I can pronounce many of the luxury clothing brands correctly, but I don't know how to say this. Hyundai or Hyundai? Or does it matter like where you're saying it from? It's Hyundai, Hyundai, or Hyundai. Simply do business like Louis Vuitton or Chanel. Tom Delgado says it's Louis Vuitton and Channel. Also, it's not Gucci, it's Gucci. Go to Gucci, get your nice clothes, and then you go over to Louis Vuitton and you get your big purse. And we also have a dealership that does not deal with cars. We have Harley Davidson cycles. I was gonna cross against the light there. I was second guessing it. Now, across the street here, Food Bazaar, one of the best neighborhood grocery stores. They've got a lot of ethnic groceries in there. Sometimes you can find things from all over the world. I normally find like curries there and Korean stuff, Chinese vegetables. It's a really great place. And if you're driving, it's accessible with the parking lot too. Before the Food Bazaar used to be a path mark. And that path mark was there for a long time before the food bazaar came in town. Here's Koppel, Keppel, Kopel. I don't know. You can tell I don't follow cars. I really hate driving. I know how to say this. This is Subaru. So yeah, my opinion on this bike lane so far is that you really got to be careful of the driveways just as much as the traffic beside you. And also these sharp turns also. That's a little bit daring. In America 3, thank you for the $4.99. Now we have a restaurant called La Choza del Gordo. Okay, it's not Tequila Sunrise anymore, it's a different place. La Choza del Gordo restaurant. And we've got some more outdoor dining options here. I'm not familiar with this place. Hilti? I gotta mute it, folks. Sorry about the music. So here's Esquina Tequila. They got in trouble and they had their liquor license suspended. Members of authority convened on August 23rd, 2020 for a suspension of their liquor license, and they're not here. So losing a liquor license is big business in New York City. Here's Steinway Street. Over here, this huge building here used to be a grocery store called Western Beef, and I'm gonna point my camera this way just because I want to watch where I'm walking. But this spot here used to be a place called Western Beef Supermarket. Now it's like a 5-story building, I think. Antoinette Nodal or Nodal, thank you for the $2.99 watching from LA. Also, what happens with the bike lane here, huh? Is there a bike lane over here? No. You've got a scaffolding underpass. Where's the bike lane here? It doesn't continue here at all. What happened to this block? They just skipped it. Jenny Mosley Wu saying you can die riding your bike there. You can die anywhere in New York riding your bike, to be honest. The city doesn't really do enough for the cycling infrastructure. They're trying though, but it's a lot better than nothing. I would actually ride on this bike lane, only because I'm a little more experienced, but if you're not comfortable riding in this, then I don't suggest you do. All right, so the bike lane continued. It was only that one block where they had the scaffolding. It disappeared. Here's 37th Avenue. Wait a second. The city's getting ready for the bike lane on the other side. I see plastic delineators there. So they're slowly covering. They're slowly building out the bike lane. Let's go across the street and take a look. I just noticed it. Okay, so this part of Northern Boulevard has a bike lane. Let's walk in it a little bit. Oh, there's a cyclist coming. Let me get back on the sidewalk until they come. We got some people using it so far. Here's a cyclist, but they should really be using lights, especially on Northern Boulevard. I don't know why you'd ride your bike with no lights, not even a rear light. Little bit of risk taking there. Well, this person's got a lit up wheel. That goes good. Jacqueline Bailey saying it's on both sides of Northern Boulevard. They're starting to make it on this side, but it's gonna be both sides when it's finished. All right, I'm gonna cross over the other side now, just because I want to see where this side takes me, if they extended the bike lane all the way to Queens Plaza or not. Silver Stars Motors, Mercedes-Benz. Although it's German, I don't know how to pronounce this in German. I'm not saying Mercedes-Benz correctly, the right way. I think it's Mercedes-Benz, something like that. I watched the video on how to pronounce that. And we have the other German automaker across the street, Volkswagen, but it's really called Volkswagen, I think. Basically translated, it means people's wagon. What? I want this car. Give me this one. I want that car. Steve 35 asking if I could do another tour of Tom the NYC. Maybe, we'll see. But thanks for the super chat, I appreciate it. All right. I'm waiting for this light because I don't want to take a chance with these cars. Someone's using the bike lane. Oh my gosh. Gas station, are you kidding me with the bike lane here? Gas station probably sees the most driveway entries and exits out of any other business. So, gotta be careful here. I don't even want to begin to tell you how many times I've had near crashes or accidents at gas stations. All right. Can I go? Both sides are red. Nope. This car is gonna go. I'm very near Queens Plaza now. What happened to the bike lane here, huh? It's just a piece of concrete. Probably because it was hard for them to paint one in. Ah, I see the culprit. Bus stop. So bus stop interrupted the bike lane. Looks like they're doing some construction on this block. I could have just hopped the bus there and sped up this walk, but I didn't want to. That bus is going all the way to Midtown across the Queensboro Bridge. It is bright in this area, Ben Schuster. My ISO is at default. Wing, thank you for $2 Canadian. Appreciate it. So, over here is the 39th Avenue subway station on the N and W trains. And this building over here is a ventilation chamber for the New York City subway, but it's not for that elevated train over there. It's for the one that runs underneath on Northern Boulevard. One little tip about the New York City subway that many of you may not know. The Queens Boulevard lines, the E train, the E train, F train, M train, and R, they run on separate tracks between 21st Street Queensbridge or Queens Plaza and 74th Street Broadway. Well, that's the 7 train station. Roosevelt Avenue, Jackson Heights, Roosevelt Avenue, and 21st Street Queensbridge or Queens Plaza. The express trains will run underneath Northern Boulevard from what street is it? Broadway, from Broadway to 74th Street. No, I'm getting myself tripped up now. It goes on the Northern Boulevard from Queens Plaza or 21st Street Queensbridge to Northern Boulevard and Broadway, and then it runs. No, that didn't sound right either. It just stays on Northern for most of its. No, I had that right. But yeah, it's one of the few places in the New York City subway system where the express tracks and the local tracks, they're not together. You'll save some time taking the express train rather than the local because they're on separate tracks, and Northern Boulevard is more direct than the Queens Broadway. I gotta look at a map because I got confused with the directions. All right, here we go. It's gonna be simple to show on a map, but here. You see here, this path over here is where the trains deviate. The local trains, they go up Steinway Street and then across Broadway, and the express trains will stay on Northern Boulevard for that little stretch. I could have just done that from the beginning. All right, so bike lane completely non-existent at this intersection with 40th Ave, 31st Street, and Northern Boulevard, and then it extends over there. I don't know if having the bike lane over here is such a great idea, because pre-pandemic, I remember coming down here in the morning and literally there'll be like no room to move at all. It was like back-to-back traffic in all 3 lanes. So if some like unscrupulous driver decides to drive in this lane, there goes the protection and the bike lane. I remember going through here sometimes on a bike, and I'd actually have to split between traffic because it was back to back and it was not going anywhere. The city really like put up this bike lane quickly. I'm impressed with how fast they were able to do it. What'll help a lot if they painted it green. But I'm sure that's gonna get installed eventually. The green paint. So dark here. Another Long Island City skyscraper going up over here. Eventually. This bike lane even has sand in it. It's going to be hard to ride in this. Hector Barrero, thank you for the $1.99. And there's also some construction equipment here. Oh, Jonathan C. It's the ventilation shaft for the east side access, not the skyscraper. It would make sense because here is where the trains split off from each other. It's going to require a lot of new structures for that. It does make sense. It's not a skyscraper. Lamb Brian, thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. The bike lane still goes on. And I think it stops over here at 41st Avenue, which makes sense because in just like a block or two, you can connect to the Queens Plaza Greenway going over the bridge and also to Queens Boulevard. So here's the end of the bike lane. Kevin Chan, thank you for $5. And Jay Grant McGuire for the 9. You too, Rock. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, so let's go. All right, so bike lane ended over there. And now I'm in a spot called the Dutch Kills Green. Nice little spot to hang out here. Back in the 90s, I was watching some historical photos from this area. This used to be a parking lot in the middle of Queens Plaza, and none of these huge buildings over here. These hotels were here. But now it's a public park like this. I think it's a very nice addition to Long Island City. It's very calm here. Goes the 7 train pulling into Queensboro Plaza. But the bikers will go down here and then connect over here to this greenway. Buddy Badet, thank you for the $1.99. Appreciate it very much. Ben, those are crickets. All right, folks. I think this might be a good place for me to end the live walk. because I've walked the entirety of Northern Boulevard now. But let me just get ready to end it. Plus, I need to meet someone in Manhattan right now, so I'm about to head on the subway at Queens Plaza and head over there. All right, folks, if you enjoy this live walk, give that like button a smash. Subscribe if you haven't already to the channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye, folks. Bye-bye. Thanks for all your super chats today, the new members for supporting the channel. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.